Okay, so 61 and 2, we're looking at completing the square, but we're looking at, this is a method to solve quadratics. You could do the quadratic formula. You could factor occasionally. This one may not factor, but theoretically that's an option. So this is simply just another option in getting solutions to quadratics. And the way completing the square works is we empty out anything that we have in the C location. That C location is empty. We're going to fill it up with the number that we want to pick. Now the number that you want to pick, and you'll see why it works later in a minute, the number you want to pick is half of that middle number, half of 8 squared. So half of 8 is 4. 4 squared would be 16. The number we want to add is half of the middle number squared. That's how completing the square works. Now you can't just add to one side of the equation without adding to the other. It won't be true anymore if you do. So anytime you add to one side, add to the other. Now it's equal still. So the right side is 14 plus 16. It's now 30. And here's what's good about the left side. This is why completing the square is actually quicker and easier than the quadratic formula. When you're looking at this right here, you can factor it. Factors of 16 that add up to negative 8 would be negative 4 and negative 4. Now, a lot of people tend to write it like this, but anything times itself, you can also write like that. So I'm going to write that as b minus 4 squared. So I factor the left side, and because of the number I picked, it allowed me to write it as a factor squared. Now that's easy to solve because you get rid of a square with a square root. Remember, square roots are always plus or minus. And then to get rid of the minus 4, we add 4. So I'm going to add it and just put it out in front. 4 plus or minus the square root of 30. Okay, and again, that's probably going to get you the answer faster than it would if you're doing the quadratic formula, especially once you get used to it. So one more time to practice that. 62. I want to clear out any number in C. V squared minus 2v equals 35. Now, I need to pick the number that I want to add over here. So half of the middle number would be 1 squared is still 1. 1 squared is 1. So I'm going to add 1 on both sides to make it even. So I've got 36 on the right, and now factors of 1 that add up to negative 2 would be negative 1 and negative 1. So I can write that as v minus 1 squared, because there's 2 of them. And again, square root both sides to get rid of the squared. So v minus 1 will equal the square root of 36, which on that one I can just put a 6. And then I can add 1. Okay, now don't leave your answer here because you can go ahead and tell me what the solutions are. 1 plus or minus 6. Well, what is 1 plus 6? And you can just go ahead and write me down the actual solutions. V equals 7, and 1 minus 6 would be negative 5. So you can tell me what the actual answers are if it comes out nice and even like that.